Woo-wee! Look at this thing loading in. It's our base. It's our wonderful, lovely, beautiful base that we built in the last episode. And I cannot get over the sight of seeing it load in every time I fly back. That's right, everyone. Welcome back to Ark Fjordur. We're on episode 9 at this point, and I'm having so much fun playing this game. This map is incredible. I've been a little bit busy in between episodes because in the last one we built this wonderful base, and I've just been doing a little bit of housekeeping. First off, ignore the moose. The beetles have been busy. They've been making the fertilizer because our crops, our farming area up on the roof is a lot bigger than it used to be, so I need a lot more of that. Super proud of them, they're going strong. And then now we can focus on the moose. The moose is named Kite because, well, I feel like if the breeze is strong enough, this guy is taking off. But I felt like I needed to extend my gathering arsenal, right? I have nothing really dedicated to thatch. Yes, the stego can gather thatch, but again, the stego is not great because Artemis cannot carry it. So we got a bit of a smaller one, and this is Kite, and he will help us gather thatch from this point forward. Additionally, I just flew back from the Aberration-y loot cave, not far from my base's location, and this is what I got from it. I think the gas bag saddle and the ghillie blueprint I got from a drop on my way there, but the rest is from there. Two of these things are amazing. That RG saddle, wonderful. That has to go onto Artemis right now. There we go. We can replace his old saddle with the new one. Perfect. That thing is incredible. That is a brilliant saddle for Artemis to have. And look at how stylish he is now. Yeah, you're such a pretty bird. The rest of the things, though, less important. There is one, and we need to come over here to the smithy fort. That's this thing. That is an absurdly powerful blueprint. And it's not expensive. Not even close to it. So I am absolutely going to craft that thing up, and we are going to wear it right now and probably forever forward. Because that is brilliant. That is really, really good. The rest I'm not super interested in for now. That does highlight a bit of a concern I'm having. An issue, right? And that is that I don't really have good caving dinos. I mean, we have Ben, and we have the Deinonychus pack, and they're okay. They're not horrendous. Ben probably is better than the Deinonychus pack just because he's more controllable. He's not as fast as they are, and he's one unit that deals as much damage as the 4 of them together, though I do still have my pocket Deinonychus with me, and our pocket Tech Rex. But Ben is not the best, particularly here on Fjordur, where the caves seem to be very much designed with a particular dinosaur in mind. This dinosaur is obviously the Desmodus, the new giant bat that's been introduced into this game. However, like with the other 2 new dinos of Fjordur, it is not an easy thing to tame. I'd wager and say that the Desmodus is probably the most difficult of the 3 to tame, though I do not speak from experience. I have not tamed either of these 3 dinos before. But I have a pretty good idea of how we need to go about this. And in order to tame a good Desmodus, I believe we need to tame up a couple of other things first. So the most fantastic thing has just happened to me, my friends. I was circling the volcano island for a bit, and then I saw this red drop coming down. And one of the main things that this whole episode is about, why I want a Desmodus, is in order to do more caves, to get more cave loot drops. Because I'm not having much success with these surface loot drops. And I want better long necks. These long necks are just plain primitive. And then I come to this loot drop. And lo and behold, there is a better long neck in it. What? Ark gods spitting in my face say what? So why would I want a better long neck? I feel like I need to discuss that very briefly. When it comes to taming of dinosaurs, right, there are a handful of things that one can do in order to make your life easier for yourself. One of which is traps. Easy and efficient traps are always worth it. I have more biotoxin, which means I need to make more of the tranquilizer darts. Anyway, what was I saying? I've gotten distracted now. That's right, taming dinosaurs. You can trap them, right? You can pick them up and throw them in a trap where they cannot escape, where they cannot run away. This works for most dinosaurs. This does not work for most of the recent additions to Ark, as I think the producers of this game are trying to move away from dinosaurs that can be trapped purposefully. But for most, you can throw them in a trap. Like we did with our thorny dragons in the last episode. We just threw them in one of our breeding boxes and they couldn't get away. Made it really easy to knock them out and then tame them. Right, so that's one thing. A second is better kibble, better food, taming food, right? The better your food, the less of it you need, the quicker they can tame. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we have the best taming food, extraordinary kibble. Again, this does not apply to all tames, especially not the latest editions, but to most it does. And then the third method is a stronger method of knocking them out. Now you can use things like thorny dragons. The barbs that they fire are actually tranquilizers, although they're really hard to control and aim and they're not great. You can use a horse. A horse's right-click attack, which is its back kick, deals torpor damage. There are others that deal torpor as well. But primarily you'll probably be using tranquilizers, whether that's tranquilizing arrows or darts, or most recently we have acquired shocking tranquilizer darts, which are the best ammunition for the job. In tandem with a better ammunition is a better rifle. And that is where this comes in, because the more damage your rifle does, the more torpor it deals with each shot as well. So I wanted a better long neck rifle for the purpose of taming. And I was hoping to find that in loot drops in caves. Now this is not the greatest long neck rifle ever, but it is certainly better than what we had. So yeah, Ark gods have a sick sense of humor. That does not matter though, that does not mean we will stop what we're doing. We will continue with today's episode as planned and scheduled. I just need to grab some ammunition that I forgot, and then we need to go out and tame a couple of dinos. Bam! 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 And bam! Yes, we did some taming. It took a lot longer than it should have, I'm not gonna lie. The stegos were pretty easy. I found 4 high-ish level stegos. They're really good. These two over here, the first one we tamed and the last one we tamed, actually had the better stats. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and combine the good stats, and I'm not gonna take any of the bad stats into consideration. And I tamed up 2 moss chops. I was gonna do more moss chops, but honestly, finding the second one took me forever. Moss chops are everywhere until you start looking for them. Then they're nowhere. Then you cannot find them. And it was absurd. But anyway, we now have 2 moss chops that need to be bred together, and we have 2 stegos that need to be bred together. However, I've already done that. Yes, I've not wasted time. I've done a lot. So here we have a bunch of moss chops. All of them have the higher health stat, and I think that's the only stat we're really concerned about. And then I have 3 stegos that are busy finishing up their healing as we speak. Just passive healing in the soul ball. And these guys all have the perfect stats the exact stats I wanted from between these two. Their stats aren't super important for what we're doing today, but while I was at it, I thought I might as well. Let me go ahead and show you what the stegos look like. I mean, they basically look like that one, but there we go. They all have pretty much the same colors. They're not the most attractive stegos in the world, but you know what, it's fine. They're pretty decent, and they're fully imprinted. Also have some levels already, so this is what they came out with, imprinted. That's a good amount of health. That really is a good amount of health. Alright stamina, a ridiculous weight stat, and melee is kinda meh. But it is what it is. We just needed a good stego, preferably imprinted for what we're doing next. So now, I think we're about as ready as we're gonna be to tame up a Desmodus. And there are a number of places where these things spawn. Pretty much anywhere there's a cave, I think they spawn. I don't know if they spawn in artifact caves. But over here, and we are here on the map, roughly at 4070. I can even do that. 4070-ish. You will find this, which kind of looks like it should be a wyvern scar. It has these hexagonal, orthogonal, whatever you call it, kind of stones and cliffs, but it isn't a wyvern scar. So that on the left is just a walkway up to the rest of the island, but here on the right is a cave entrance. Now I think this is the biggest single volume cave where you can find the Desmodus bat. Those over there I believe are just regular onyx, which is not what we're looking for. Yeah, that's just an onyx. But you'll see up on the roof of this cave over there we have Desmodus. That's a 135. I want that. I want that Desmodus. I'm gonna try and get good ones. Whoops. Forgot about that. It is a cave, which means no flyers. Okay. I'm just gonna stay outside the cave for a little bit and heal up first, because I don't want to go in there with absolutely no health. Okay, let's try this again. I've now got the stego out, and the reason I went for stegos is because you cannot get dismounted or grabbed off the back of a stego. I think it's only when you're in the hardened plate, which is this plate mode. Remember, stegos have different plate modes. Heavy, I believe, slows your opponent. Sharpened causes extra damage when you attack, and hardened causes reduced damage taken and I think prevents you from being dismounted. Now we could also have used a Andrewsarchus for this. We could have tamed those, and I was honestly really considering taming up Andrewsarchuses instead, just because they're the new hot thing in Ark. But on a stego, you can pull out weapons on its back. You can't do that on an Andrewsarchus. Now granted, if you just need damage dealt, Andrewsarchus is fine. Load its saddle, which is a minigun, up with bullets, and it can deal a lot of damage. But you can't use net guns, and you can't use tranquilizers, so I think a stego is probably the better dino for the job. So I think I'd like to try and get that 135, which I believe is the left one. Yes. The level 20 I don't want, which means we need to get rid of it. I don't want to waste any taming potential on it. I just want to try and get this 135 for us. So let's see. I don't think I can net it from here. And if I net it, it's going to fall into the water. I don't know if that'll be a problem. Let's see. Let's see if we can net it from down here. That missed. If I aim a little higher, I could have brought more nets. Yeah, okay, so that worked. And then we get to kill this level 20, which shouldn't take too long. The stego is pretty decent. And now, while we wait for that guy, I don't need to dismount for this. While we wait for that guy to get out of his net, we're going to go ahead and throw some of these moss chops out. And I think if we start it off with 3, that should be fine. They can all be on passive. I don't want them to run from this guy. And we're just gonna wait for that guy to come out of his net. Hopefully we can lure him down, and then he can focus on the moss chops, because we want him to attack our moss chops and to be aggroed onto them, not onto us. There we go, okay. He just broke loose. He's coming this way, and he grabbed the moss chops. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, he's hitting me with the moss chops. I don't want you to do that. Yep, the taming has started. So the reason we need to do this, I'm pretty sure you all know this by now. If you're following Ark, you've seen a lot of Desmodus taming videos and things. When you start taming a Desmodus, its taming effectiveness starts low. So it needs to feed on other things than you for a while first in order to get that taming effectiveness up. So there you go, taming effectiveness gradually rises as it deals damage to your tames. And that is exactly what we want to have happen. And we brought multiple moss chops, because I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how many he's going to need to attack. And they needed high health, which is why I only took the high health ones, in order to survive for as long as possible. Okay, there he goes again. Is he gonna grab it? I think he needs to pick it up. Just attacking it isn't gonna do anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, there we go. Grabbed it, picked it up, and taming effectiveness rises. Now we wait for that number to become 100. So occasionally he'll aggro onto you, and then the best thing I've seen to do really is just to come back to wherever your moss chops are, walk around them a little bit, wait for him to hopefully someday eventually grab a moss chops. There we go. Then he'll keep following you, but you just kind of need to walk away. Eventually he'll lose aggro, he'll drop the moss chops, and then it looks like you need to stay clear from the moss chops a little bit. So yeah, see, he dropped the moss chops, lost aggro. So I'm gonna put some distance between me and it, and then we'll see if that's good enough. Currently at about 75%, which means it's only gone up by 18% of the 40-something% it needs to go up by. This is a very slow process. And now it looks like the idiot's gotten himself stuck in a pattern that he can't break, just flying around that one moss chops indefinitely. About 82%. So let's go ahead and just call this moss chops a little bit closer. What? Go away. Alright, okay, looks like he picked him up. I wasn't paying attention, don't know if he was following it, whether or not it started to move, but we're getting there. We're at 84%. Cool. You can stay right there, actually. Where it drops your moss chops, preferably try not to move the moss chops too much from there, because then he loses aggro completely and you have to go and fetch it. And then you end up in a situation like I was previously, where it was aggroed onto me. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, we're getting very close now. I don't know if this will be its last necessary feeding. No, okay, it's dropped it. So we're very close. We're at 98.7%. It'll have to pick one of them up more at least. Pick one of them up once more at least. Words. But yeah, we're getting there. This is a very tedious process, so you guys have to be patient if you're going to try and tame a Desmodus. It definitely helps to have a good stego for this, because I've been attacked by a couple of Onyx while I've been waiting, and it's just better to have something that you can defend yourself with, and that the Desmodus can't grab you off of. But there we go, that is 100% taming effectiveness, so now I think we can actually start the taming. So you'll notice that even though its taming effectiveness is at 100%, its taming progress bar hasn't moved at all. Because to tame a Desmodus, it actually needs to feed off of you. So I've got some blood packs here, and you need to put that in your last bar. And when it drops that moss chops, I'm going to run around and pick up... I'll leave Steven there just in case I need to defend myself. But we can pick up these moss chops now. And as soon as it's done with that one, I'll pick it up as well. And then it just needs to come and grab me and feed off of either my blood, but eventually I'll run out of health, or feed off of blood packs that I've pre-prepared in my inventory for it. And of course now it gets stuck in a loop up at the ceiling. It does this every now and then. Eventually it will run out of stamina and it'll just come back down to the ground, so... Taming a Desmodus, it's a game of patience, my friends, that's all it is. I don't have very much patience, unfortunately, and I'm going crazy. Okay, here we go, you're gonna grab me? There we go, okay. So, look at that 0 point, that 0 shortcut. Draining the blood packs, that is perfect as it tames. Getting there, and it dropped me. Okay, so it is going to drop you every now and then. Careful if it gets you too far up. Youch, you're doing a lot of damage. It might be beneficial to have good health on yourself when you're doing this. Or really good armor, but we should tame it up now. There we go! You see, I did have parachutes on my hotbar, and my finger was on that #1 button, just in case this guy decided that it wanted to fly up. Because dropping me too far would have just killed me, and that would have sucked. Now, of course, I cannot just tame up one. I need a high-level female as well now, because I want to see exactly how good these things are. And for that I need an imprinted one. Now, none of these are very high level, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. And I should just, if I shoot one, aggro them all. Yup. Alright. Now we wait. Now again, the stego is a very good thing for this. You can't get grabbed. They deal reduced damage. Let's see, can I do that? Nope. There we go. Okay, they're all dead. This is a very big cave. I'm sure I'll find at least another couple in here somewhere to tame. There's one crawling around on the ground way over there. What are you? You're level 20. Poop! So, it's not a high-level female. It's a high-level male, I believe. Yeah, will you stand still? Or just grab a moss chop so I can start the taming and we can see. Please? Come on, there are 4 of them. Grab anyone. Please? There we go. Okay. So now I should be able to... Yeah, it's a 145 male. Not what I was hoping for, but it's persistent. It came and attacked me, so... I'll take it. We're still in the cave. I just did 1 lap of it, and by the time I finished the lap on Stego back, which is rather slow, they'd already respawned. So yay! Also, while it's doing its thing, I found these. So there's a level 85 male, but that is a 140 female, and that is what I'm looking for. I mean, it's hideous, event colors, but 140 female. I like it. I wonder if I can get both of them taming simultaneously. So, let's take out the long neck. Let's aggro those 2 by shooting the male, which is the low level one. And then I'm just gonna keep shooting it and hopefully have it dead before it reaches me. Die. Oops. That was not the plan. Not the plan at all. I don't want to shoot the female. I want to shoot the male. Where are you? Hello? There you are. Okay. Male dead. So now... Yeah. You're both here. I mean, that black 145 male is a beautiful Desmodus. I love that dark and red. Let's get them over here to our moss chops. We're gonna be taming up both of these together, I think. See how that goes for us.
One eternity later.
It's happening. Is it gonna happen? Come on. There we go. Okay. Don't drop me in the water, please. There are Sarcos in there. Okay, yeah, let's stay low. Low's good. I like low. Okay. Ooh, that wasn't very low. But okay, come on. Yeah, let's go for round 2. You're almost there. You're doing so well. There we go. Okay. No, female, go away. Right, it's tamed. No! Passive. I don't want the female to tame. If I hit her to get out of this, then everything just resets. Drop me. Thank you. I'm gonna die. Pick him up. Please leave me alone. Well, okay. That did not go according to plan. Not at all according to plan. But I'm alive. I didn't die somehow. Okay, let's see. What did you get anything worthwhile out of that? Probably not. I mean, this male has a really good oxygen stat and a decent melee stat. I'm not upset by that melee stat. This female has absolutely nothing. Nothing worthwhile. Okay, now how do I get back up there? What is this? What is this? What is in here? My blood bags! This way. This way. I spent hours searching for a high-level female moss chops, and now there's one walking in my front lawn. But no, that's not okay. I don't know what's around me, but everyone on passive. Where are you? Why are moss chops so tanky? Wow, that took 4 shotgun shots from a really good shotgun. That's what you deserve. Haha! How dare you only appear? I don't even want your stuff. That can despawn on the ground. Wow. Okay, Desmodus. Not fun stuff to tame. But we do now have 3 lovely Desmodus. I've renamed them in the order that we've tamed them. So we've got the 135, I think, the 145, and this horrible thing that just ruined everything towards the end. It was going so well, even if boring, and then this thing. My friends, do not tame more than 1 at a time. Never, ever. Don't do it. Just do 1 at a time. Just be patient. It makes life so much easier. Anyway, we now have 3 relatively high-level Desmodus. That one obviously pretty much useless, but it is the only female we have. These 2 are both males. We did get pretty lucky with them, though, in that this one had a very high health stat, and this one had a very high melee stat. In the mid-40s, if memory serves. I don't currently have my spreadsheet open with me, but anyway, we now need to breed these 3 together, combine all the stats, get ourselves some good bats. Except, I've done it again. I've already done that. The same as with those things behind me, I've already bred them. We now have, here we go, 1 and 2. They have identical stats, even though I think their colors are slightly different. They are both fully imprinted, and they do have parents that are not imprinted, so I can reproduce them should I wish. But let's have a look at what they got, right? So this is unleveled. I haven't pumped a single level into anything. Low health. That seems like a low starting health, but they're not a very big creature, so that's probably fine. That's a good amount of stamina. I'm pleasantly surprised by the weight, and the melee is decent. If we pick them up, let me just show you guys what they look like in terms of the stats. So we have, okay, so we didn't quite get a 40s melee, but 43 health, that's pretty decent. I'm happy with that. 39 melee, also very good. I think these are decent bats. But how do they perform? Well, let's go ahead and have a look. Before I do any leveling on anything, just flat, they're kind of speedy. I've never used one of these before, so I think they're faster than an RG. Probably a lot faster. They have a good turning circle. I mean, they basically turn on the spot. I like that. Right click is still picking them up, which is good. You can attack, although if I don't think this bat works with one of my mods. Let's see, hold down, it's not attacking. What is going on? I am a little confused. Is it disabled? Whoa, what just happened there? Whoa! Is that its left click? No, if I just click left click, it does that. If I hold left click and release... Oh, that's how you do the screech. Okay, cool. So left click, attack, hold left click and release. It does the screech. It doesn't seem to do anything. Does it need stamina? Let's pause. Let's regain some stam for a minute. Okay, so that's how you do that, to hold and release. However, if you're moving, it doesn't do that. Okay, so you have to be stationary to use it, I guess. So just hovering. Okay, cool. So right click pick up, left click attack, and if you hover or stand still and use that... Wait, what? Why are you glowing red? Does it just glow red for a long time? Let's find something that we haven't glowed yet. Okay, I'm not moving, just hovering. I guess I just glow for a long time. Okay, let's see. C is down, X is up. Okay, that's handy. We can strafe left and right, pretty much turn on the spot. Yeah, okay, decent guys. How much damage do they do? Let's get ourselves a number here. 318 without having leveled anything. That's good. That's really good. I like that. And is that... Wow, that's a lot of spoiled meat from killing one thing? Nice. Okay, yeah. Bats are pretty cool. Their taming method sucks, though. They are really ugly, though. I mean, dang. And why do their knees bend backwards? That doesn't... that just makes me uncomfortable. So, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. As an aesthetic person, I really like good-looking dinos. And the Desmodus does not really work for me. It is... really ugly. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it breaks a lot of Ark, makes it a lot of it too easy. I didn't vote for it. Not the creature I would have chosen, but it is here. We do need it for a lot of the caves. A lot of the caves on this map are designed with it in mind, and admittedly, it has some really handy abilities. We'll explore most of those abilities, I think, in the future, but for now, let's just have a look here. We're back at the Aberration Cave, right? Now, RGs go to flyer every other day, right? They're great, they're strong, they're beefy, but if I fly into a cave... What? Okay, this doesn't seem right. I swear I got kicked off an RG earlier. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, so, I've come back to the cave where we initially tamed our first Desmodus, and this is where I remember getting thrown off of... Yeah, you can't take a flyer in here, right? Okay, I need you to land, bat. Okay, so I got thrown off the RG now. Great, good to know. I guess that just means you can take a flyer into that aberration cave. Good to know. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is why I tamed Desmodus, because you can fly into caves. It's absolutely broken that you can do this. It breaks every rule of Ark, of gathering artifacts and loot drops and things, but you can fly into caves with the Desmodus. Which makes it useful, because not only are the caves on this map, ooh, red drop, designed for Desmodus in mind, in that most land creatures just can't traverse them. The other realms, what? Is this loot drop inside of it? Oh, it is down, right? Yeah, it's down. Well, that sucks. Okay, I'm not even gonna try and grab that. What was I saying? The other realms, right? There are 3 other realms to this map, and they are technically considered caves. You can't use flyers on them, but you can use the Desmodus. So they're useful, apparently. Anywho, my friends, that's the bat. That is the Desmodus Draculae. First impressions, I still don't like them, but I'll be using this guy for a while. I'll come up with a name in between episodes, let you guys know about it in the next one. Let me know what you guys' first impressions about the Desmodus are. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are they meh? And we'll figure out what they can really do in the next couple of episodes. I'll put them to the test. I'll use this guy as my main flyer for a while, and we'll see. Maybe they win me over. Until next time, my friends, have an absolutely brilliant one from me and the bats. All the bats, and the stegos, and the moss chops. What the hell am I supposed to do with all of these moss chops now?